All right, so somebody asked me to make a video for the Minolta Autocord. This one has a very stiff focus. I don't want to mess with it because that's how the focus lever breaks. So just going to go through the steps of how to remove the front panel and remove the whole focusing system. All right, so the first step would be to I have my rubber tools here. I'm going to remove the taking lens, and that just unscrews. And what I usually do with the taking lens is I take it and wrap it in a microfiber cloth to avoid dust and scratches. Just set that to the side. I already took off, it was coming off anyway. I'm going to reskin this one. I already took off the front leatherette, but that would be one of the steps. Then you're going to see, take off the leatherette, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws that need to come out to take off the front panel. Okay, so before you take this off, you want to set the shutter speed to B, and you want to have the aperture at its maximum, which is 3.5 on this lens. Then this just comes off. Does it? So I had a little glue on it. And then if you set the flash sync to X, you'll notice that this comes off a little bit easier. It has a little hole in it. I'm just gotta kind of wiggle it. Just be careful getting this off. It's a little tricky sometimes. There it goes. So get that set. That's the inside of there. I'll probably clean this up before I put it back, just because it's a little grimy. You might as well do it while I have it off. Okay. The next thing is you want to turn the camera over and open up the back, and you will see in there is a little light shield with two spanner wrench notches in it. We'll remove that to get the sorry, I don't know if you can see in it, to get the shutter off. So that needs to come out. And this kind of doesn't take a lot to come out. It's just a little tricky to get it out. Yeah, it comes out. Almost can do it with your finger. The spanner just loosens it up. It's never been taken out again. Okay, then you will see in here, you'll see two spanner slots. There's an outer spanner slot and there's an inner spanner slot. The inner spanner slot is to remove the rear lens. The outer one is to remove the shutter assembly. So we're gonna work on the outer one. You will need a spanner for this also. I'm just gonna get that broken. And mine looks like the whole thing is turning. Okay. So once you get that ring out, that ring that holds the rear whole shutter assembly on. You can turn your camera back over, close the door so it stays stable, and now your shutter assembly will come out. Alright, so here's the rear shutter. You'll notice that it has shims on it. Remember the order that they're in and how they're set. These shims are from the factory and they set the proper focus from the back of the camera. Let me just get this back in order. Okay. If you want, I usually don't, you can unsolder these assembly so that the shutter can be removed completely. I usually just leave it off to the side. Next, you will see the shutter cocking assembly underneath. So you'll have to remove these. There is this lever. And just remember the order. Then you have this washer. And then you have another lever which is hooked onto here. So you just have to release it. That comes out as so. Now you're left with this setup. Okay. The next thing you need to remove is this front plate. And it has 1, 2, 3 screws. Okay, now you can remove this front assembly. Along with it comes the focusing, the viewing lens. There's no need to mess with the viewing lens. If you mess with your viewing lens, that will mess up your viewing focus. So if you do not have to remove it, just leave it as so. It is affixed to the to this part of the camera, as well as the shutter lever. Okay. So you can just move that whole assembly to the side. The next thing you will need to remove is this outer casing. And that's held together with 4 screws. One here, one here, one here, and one here. Note that there are different size screws on the top and the bottom of this. The shorter screws go on the bottom. It's a good practice to take pictures of everything on every step so that you can go back and you'll have a visual reference of each step. You can't have too many pictures, just take as many pictures as possible. Okay, so we're almost there. Now we just need to remove the distance scale plate. Before doing the next step, you want to make some marks because you want to see how this is going to go back. So it's a good idea just to draw. First, get a marker that works. Lines to show you how this lines up. I have the focus set to infinity. That's all the way to, if you're looking at the camera, all the way to the left. So I want to see how this lines up when I need to return it. So I'll make some marks and I'll make sure these marks line up when I return the camera. And I'm putting the camera back together. All right, so the next thing we need to remove is the actual focus lever, which is held on by these. This is one screw, two screws, three screws, and one screw that's indented in the camera. So you need to loosen. You're not going to take them out. You're just going to loosen these screws. Just maybe one full turn is enough. Okay, mine is really tight, so I may have to use a little lighter fluid to get it loose. Remember that this is very soft metal, so you don't want to use too much force trying to get it off because it will probably break off in your hand. I'll give that a little time to set. Then I will nudge it off. Okay, so there was a lot of grime in mine, and it was really stuck on there. So it took some effort, as you can see, how black it is, and all the grease buildup that was here. That was keeping the focus lever stuck. Okay, the next thing you want to do is remove this inside brass piece. Okay. And again, when you put this back in, you want to line up all the marks. because that will be your infinity location. You have all the marks lined up with the focus knob, inside and outside focusing rings when you put it back. Okay, so the next step would be to remove this brass piece here, but you need to get inside here and clean everything out. This again is held on with 3 screws. I guess Minolta likes 3 screws. And once you get the screws out, this just lifts off. Oh, it's really dirty. And this can come out, as you can see on here. All this black stuff is what seizes the lever, and it's all pretty much over everything, all inside the camera. All right, so the next step would be to clean everything, and then re-lubricate everything and assemble it in reverse order. All right, thanks for watching.